Hi everyone, I'm Kat Ogar of Infinite Health and Wellness. I'm a naturopathic practitioner, and I wanted to talk to you about one-on-one coaching. So when someone comes to my office, this is what that would look like in case you were wondering. I would have them fill out a couple of forms. We would be looking at their lifestyle, whether or not they're sleeping, how are they eating, what are they craving, are they having enough water in their diet, are they drinking enough good water. We'd also talk about how much water, because that's different for everyone, believe it or not. The old rule of thumb, 8 ounces, 8 ounce glasses a day no longer applies. And it probably never did, quite honestly. But at any rate, those are things that we would be looking at. We would also look at hormone levels, what's going on with that. There's no blood test involved. It's just a questionnaire that was developed by a Harvard-trained medical physician named Dr. Sarah Gottfried. I trained with her, so we want to look at that and find out which hormones are out of balance so that we can start implementing and adding in whatever needs to be added in and taking out whatever needs to be taken out in order to get that back in alignment. We would look at pH, so it's the pH balanced, because when pH is balanced between 6.2, 6.6, that's the sweet spot, so to speak, then they'll be able to, the body can heal. That's called healing range, and that we want to get someone to that place. And usually that involves a shift in diet, but it might also involve supplementation. And we talk about supplements. Are you taking too many? Are you not taking enough? We would definitely look at that. We don't want to overload people, and we don't want them lacking nutrients, because unfortunately the food today isn't as robust as it was probably when we were growing up and our parents and our grandparents were growing up. I think we all pretty much know that. A lot of stuff's been denaturized. Another thing we would look at is, what are the goals? What are your life goals? And that might sound a little bit like life coaching, but it actually falls under the entire umbrella of naturopathy. Because if we're not doing things that make us happy and that bring us joy, and all we're doing is slogging along and working, then there's not going to be any health. I hate to tell you that, but it's true, and I know it from personal experience. We have to have things in our lives that makes us happy. That could be anything. You could like to paint, or maybe you just want to go out and spend time in nature, or, I mean, the list is endless. Read a book, do some gardening, spend time with family, take care of children, take care of adults, seniors. The list is endless. But if you don't do it, if you're not doing things that bring you that satisfaction, and that happens a lot with women, and I don't think this is going to be a surprise to any of you, what ends up happening is we fall to the bottom of our own list, and half the time we're not even on it. That's a major problem, because you cannot take care of everyone else in a good way. You can still do it. It's just that it's not going to be as pleasurable for you. My guess is, for me, I feel resentful when I'm tired and not taking care of myself and there's a lot of demands on me. I don't want to take care of the dog. I'd actually sometimes just like to run away from home. So the better I take care of myself, the better chance I have of taking better care of other people in my life, people that I love and people that I want to serve and to be of service. Especially if you have some type of service position that you're doing. You can't continue to give and give and give without receiving. It's not the way it works. If you think about the whole yin and yang theory, and it is yang, it's not yin and yang. I love to tell people that, a little piece of information. I learned that was drilled into me in acupressure school. We need that balance. We need the balance of giving. We need the balance of receiving. And women typically aren't great at receiving. It makes us feel uncomfortable sometimes, or that we're being selfish, and it couldn't be further from the truth. So when someone works with me, what we do is we sit down and we look at everything that's going on in their life using a number of those tools that I just mentioned to you, and there are many more that we can certainly add if necessary. We find what's right for you. We find which tools are going to best serve you. And then we have check-ins every couple of weeks, and you're given like a little bit of a homework assignment. And the good news is you get to pick the goals. I'm not the one that's deciding, because I'm not the expert in you. I may be an expert in me, but I'm not the expert in you. So that's another thing, is I start to train you in how to be the expert in you. And then what happens is you learn and you start listening to the little voice in your head that tells you, like, yeah, don't eat that piece of cake, or don't have that cup of coffee at 8 o'clock at night. I mean, we hear these things all the time and we ignore them. I actually had one the other day that said, walk up a specific street, and I didn't want to do it because a dog lives there that my dog loves, and he'll literally lay down in the middle of the street and not get up. And I'm like, I can't do that today. I don't have time. I don't want to do it. So I went on my merry way. I didn't listen to that little nudge. And next thing I know is here comes that dog. And I could have avoided the whole thing by just kind of listening to that intuitive nudge. You have those too. So the idea is to get you to learn how to take care of yourself, essentially. I'm not going to be in your life forever. I'm just a teacher, a mentor, somebody to kind of cheer you on, to coach you, to learn how to take care of yourself so that you know how to do it. And I know you're probably doing a great job now because you're still standing and you're here and you're listening to this, but sometimes it takes somebody that has a little bit more information than you do to kind of put you on a better pathway. I know I've had plenty of coaches in my life and have benefited from it. And again, it's just to get you moving in the right direction. And I've worked with so many women that have made amazing progress. I'll share one brief story with you on one woman, and I did get her permission. She came to me a while ago. She was really struggling with her weight and with her work. She felt kind of overworked and underappreciated. And then that kind of spilled over into her marriage. So there was a little bit of bickering going on there, and they love each other, but they just kind of weren't getting along the way that they always used to. And so what we did was we kind of sat down and we set goals and we worked through it. And what ended up happening was she left that job. She found something else that was more meaningful to her, which gave her some space. She signed up for a book club with, I think, I want to say like 20 members of her extended family. So they've got that amazing thing going on. So there's the self-care kind of being in there. And she even admitted she doesn't always read the books. She'll kind of breeze through them and get the general concept. It's more about community for her, for like sitting down, having some food, and they make a whole day of it, which I think is really pretty amazing. And she and her husband are getting along great because she's taking some time to do things for herself, and he's, you know, kind of doing his own thing, and then they meet back in the middle and everything is very harmonious. And not to say things are perfect, but it was just, these were the things that she needed to do. She kind of knew it, but it was almost like she was looking for someone to kind of coach her along and just say, hey, it's okay to do things that you want. It's okay to do what you love. It's okay to make decisions that are in your own best interest. So that's just one instance of the hundreds of women that I've worked with. It's always such a pleasure to see them come to the end of a program and be able to just go off. It's like when kids graduate from school, you're just like so excited and so proud to see what they've accomplished. So if that's something that interests you, please contact me. There'll be a link in the bio and below this video where you can sign up for a free discovery call, because it really is about discovering who you are and what you want. And what I can do is just talk to you for a while. You can get to know me, see if we're a good fit for each other. Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. If not, I can maybe just give you a few tips to get you started and at least send you off with something that's helpful to get you into a better state of health and, you know, just to do something for yourself. You should. You're worth it. You deserve it. We all deserve it. So if I can ever be of service, please reach out to me. Again, that 30-minute discovery phone session is free. There's absolutely no obligation. I want to just make sure that I can help as many people as possible. And if that can be done in 30 minutes, great. If you feel like it needs a little bit longer, then we'll talk. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's really my pleasure to be with you.